square represents one space that all these different creative people are converging upon. Each of these triangles represents a different group. One of them is designers, one's fine artists, one's musicians, and then the other one is performance artists. And when all of these four groups converge onto one space, the negative space in between those groups forms an X.
I'm a designer. I design for companies and also for myself. I think of it as jazz. It's chaotic, but there's an order, and that's what jazz is. You know, it's kind of like a dance. At first you step on toes, but then it's a waltz, and it's beautiful, and you dance together, and that's what jazz is. And this is what the three words mean to me. DC, of all places, you know, it's a wonderful city, but it's starving in art culture, and I think this is something that if we combine all of our talents and everything together, then I think whether it's music and design or painting or jewelry making, I think that generates an energy here.
Do you have your own website?
Yeah, right now we're working on it. It's demrain.com.
I do graphics, I do architecture, and I do actions, non-violent direct actions. I organize like protests and demonstrations. I just kind of took the words that were given to us, cacophony, hype, and spectacle, and then I just walked around the block and I just took some pictures. I think that some of the best art is not digital, it's real, you know, and it's public. And so that's one thing that I was kind of keeping my eye out for is visuals and kind of graffiti or self-expression like in the street. I think it's cool to have a bunch of artists in a room with different mediums, and you know, I'm kind of being inspired by the live painting, and I think it's a fun kind of creative sort of outlet for DC to have. I have a website that has sort of my portfolio on it, rvltndesign.com, and I'm part of an artist collective that's coming together called dc51.com, dc51.com.
I used to be an art director and I've always painted. I've been in DC for 7 years now, and I have a studio at the Jackson Art Centre in Georgetown. For me to be involved in X is a wonderful project. Pushing myself up on stage is definitely a challenging experience. I didn't know what to paint originally, but I have to say I was very inspired by Opo's work, and I ended up painting a portrait of her. I love painting. It's something I've always really loved. It's like my soulmate. Painting is my soulmate. I'm going to be at the Modern Artists Gallery, which have a website, modernartistsgallery.com.
I'm a graphic artist and I'm also a painter. Came checked it out last month in June. It was really fun for me to watch the thinking process of people being in a position where they have to think quickly on their feet and come up with creative ideas. The first images that came to me were like musical notes that were sort of exploding off of a page, and then I started surfing for images using Google, and that gave me more inspiration for using a picture of disharmonious sound. The way I look at art is you can make art out of anything, and with the advances in technology now, you have a whole new toolbox. It just opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. I have my own company, Intuitive Design, idbycynthia.com.
Singing is a center of my music. But I also make all the sound involved in the music. I program beats, compose, arrange, mix, and record the live instruments. I'm very shy, so I have my favorite dance teacher who told me before that it's not that you really build the confidence, it's more that you get better at pretending as if you are confident on stage, and that's it. Rather than me playing piano and singing, which is nice, but with the computer I get to almost recreate the reality. It's not just one or two sounds, it's like whole soundscape.
The concept of what this whole movement is supposed to be about is bringing creative people together to see what happens when they work together and just share their whole view on what they're passionate about. Without one of these groups being present, there is no X.